Welcome you back to Black Site Tonight. We're going to talk about Joe Biden will beat President Trump in a landslide. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification button, also hit that like button, comment on this video, and if you would like to make a donation, go into the description box where PayPal, Streamlabs, or Cash App. Joe Biden will win this election in a landslide. The whole election just changed when President Trump caught COVID on Friday. President Trump has been playing down COVID for the last 6 months. Joe Biden has said put a mask on. Joe Biden has went through all the protocols that the CDC wanted Americans to go through. And you have to understand this. Elections sometimes come down to simple things. How well are you doing in America? Are we going in the right direction? And at this time, we're not. When President Trump caught COVID, it was a message sent out to the American people. If you as the president can't protect yourself and you got all the federal government behind you, all the medical staff behind you, if you can't protect yourself, how in the hell can you protect us? And that's how the election was just decided. President Trump made some fatal errors. Instead of standing strong on COVID, he lost the message game. Now everybody has been listening to Joe Biden when he says put the mask on. Everybody is seeing that Joe Biden is more of a leader on COVID. When the beginning of this year started on January 1st, President Trump was guaranteed a landslide victory. But after 10 months, you see how the ground of the election can change that quickly. COVID pops up. Everybody shuts down. Then George Floyd comes on. We have the George Floyd uprising. Then we have Jacob Blake, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others, Breonna Taylor. And that brought more people to Joe Biden's side because his two weaknesses, Trump, was COVID and race relations. And I'm not saying that Joe Biden is good on race relations. Joe Biden is a racist. We all know that. But he happens to have a D by his name. And you know with a D by your name, which is a Democrat, you can get away with just about anything in America. And that's what's happening in this election. The ground have shifted to Joe Biden. Joe Biden has all the momentum in the world. And plus Joe Biden in the mainstream media and the deep state are hand in hand. And this is why Joe Biden did something else that's going to guarantee him the election, is mail-in voting. And most people don't know much about mail-in voting. But mail-in voting is a system where you can ballot harvest. The things that you have been hearing from President Trump about mail-in voting is not a lie. It's the truth. What they do in California is that they ballot harvest. So everybody is sent out a vote through the mail. And sometime you will be sent one to your house, but former people who lived in your house will also receive a vote. So what they'll do is get campaign workers to go house to house or building to apartment building and picked up those leftover ballots and vote for the candidate that they want to win. That's why it took in California night of the election, the midterm election, 7 Republicans was winning. After 3 or 4 weeks, all 7 lost because of ballot harvesting. So Joe Biden has every ground covered in this election. There is no way Joe Biden could lose. I want to hear somebody in the comment section tell me how Joe Biden's going to lose. Joe Biden has made the right moves in this election. Joe Biden hid in the basement, which was excellent by his campaign manager, because we know when Joe Biden talks, he puts his foot in his mouth. So you notice on the campaign trail, Joe Biden doesn't answer questions from the media. He speaks and leaves. So he won't make a fatal error. In the election, I believe at the first debate he had something in his ear. They showed it. He had a loop on. But he got away with it. What difference does it make? Everybody cheats in football. Can you get away with it? He got away with it because the media would not challenge him. They are on Joe Biden's side. So Joe Biden right now has a huge lead in the polls. Well, they're going to say the polls is wrong. Polls are only wrong when it's close. They're not wrong when you have a huge lead. And I believe that Joe Biden is on his way to a landslide. And that might be good for America. Because if it's a close election, it's going to be contagious. It's going to be bad for the country. Because you will have people in the streets fighting for the simple fact, if it goes and it's a close election, that means it goes to the courts. If it goes to the courts, it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court. This is why Trump right now is trying to put Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court. Because if it's a contested election, it will go up to the Supreme Court. Whoever gets the votes, just like in Bush Gore, when Bush won 5-4, he became president of the United States. If it was contested and it's close, and it goes to the Supreme Court, that's the only way I could see Trump possibly winning. But I don't see it at all. And I'm going to reference you back to an election in 1980. It was Jimmy Carter. Most of you may not know about this. You may not have been born. Jimmy Carter versus Ronald Reagan. Well, in the final year of Jimmy Carter's tenure as president, he had the Iranian hostage crisis, which went all the way up to Election Day. And when you have something like a hostage crisis or COVID-19 and you don't do well as president handling that, you usually lose big. And what happened to Jimmy Carter? President Reagan almost landslided him. And plus, at that time, Jimmy Carter had a bad economy. Trump actually had a good economy till COVID came. That's what was going to guarantee him a landslide. Earlier, like I said, on January 1st. But everything that Joe Biden could wish for as a candidate, going all the way back to South Carolina, when he was losing every primary until we got to South Carolina, then everything steamrolled for him. Now he gets COVID as a break. He gets George Floyd as a break. And the president catches COVID. Joe Biden is the luckiest man in the world right now. But Joe Biden will become president. And like I said earlier, if you could tell me how President Trump is going to win, you come down to the comment section and you tell me. I'm going to look at the comment section. Most of you won't be saying anything because some of you believe that Trump had, you like Trump supporters. They believe in Trump to the end. He just does not have the votes. 2016 was the last time a Republican actually had the votes to really win a presidential election. 2020 was always marked as the year to where there won't be enough white votes. Trump will actually need a huge Hispanic vote, maybe up to 40 to 45% for him to win this election. And I don't believe that he can get that. So right now, less than 30 days to go to Election Day, Joe Biden has this in the bag. He will be the 46th president of the United States. I don't see him lasting because I think he in early stages of dementia. They put them drugs in him. And I think before the end of his tenure, they will go to 25th Amendment. Kamala Harris will become election and she'll be ready to run for the second term, but her first term as president of the United States. I want to thank you for listening to Black Side. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button and also share this video.